a nice springtime day here in Long Island, New York. I'm going to detail my car. I will not bore you where I'm detailing and possibly waxing, but there's an important part of this that I think very few people do. I am going to go ahead and clean the engine compartment completely. Now, it's probably been about a year and a half since I did that, and as you can see, it has quite a bit of grease, dirt, grime, and other unpleasantries when you want to work on your engine. So what I will do is I will show you this fluid sprayer. Originally is meant either weeding and or debugging your lawn. I purchased a nice simple one, and by the way, all the links to all of this in terms of where I purchased it in the notes section of this video. The most important thing though is going to be this super degreaser from MeguiRs. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. This degreaser allows very thorough cleaning of anything is similar to an engine, and it actually is meant for that particular purpose. And we're going to have two brushes, a larger one for brushing the larger components that need to be scrubbed off a little bit, and a smaller one for getting into some details. And of course, along with that, I have a lawn leaf blower. Of course, I have my hose, because we're going to need that to rinse things off, and as the initial spray, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. This is my car, engine compartment already open. I have covered the front of it with some plastic. Now, not that this will hurt the paint, but I do not want to get the grime and dirt, at least as much as possible. I did not want to get it on the front of my car into this detail here, which would make it pretty hard to clean out later on. So just as a precaution, I'm putting on plastic. Hopefully it'll help protect it. The first time I tried this on one of my cars, I didn't cover it up, and it was pretty difficult to get out some of the grime from the actual body of the car, the front part anyway. Let me start by spraying this all down. I haven't driven this car in at least an hour, which is what I suggest you do before you do this. Now, those of you who are concerned, cars get splashed all the time. When you just go through a puddle or whatever, open up the hood in the middle of a rain. Also, we got to do the top. So this does not harm the engine. And unlike some other YouTube videos that I've seen out there, I am not going to go and cover every little component, including the alternator and such, because let's face it, those are all exposed to the weather and the splashing in the car. I will not open up the fuse box and expose the fuses, because the wiring there could corrode, if nothing else. It may still work fine once I've dried it off, but I don't want to take the chance that I've actually damaged something in that wiring. The rest of this wiring is protected, and I'll show you that in another video when I'm doing some changes to my engine. There is a special silicone sealant that is used to insulate the wire connections, and you should always use that even if you're just changing a bulb. Well, the way that it worked best, at least I found it working best, is you do one part of the super degreaser and you mix it with 4 parts of water. So let me empty out the water that I have in here already, because I put that in there just to make sure that I didn't have any clogs in the line and it still functioned properly. I'll start by putting in 1 measure of the degreaser. Up to the blue line should be good. I'll put that in here. And then I will, so 4 measurements up to the blue line. About right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a 20% mixture of that particular cleaner, degreaser, and the rest is water. We put this in here, and the way this works, a little bit of assembly required, but not much when you get this thing. Got to connect all the pieces up to this hose and the actual sprayer device that it comes with, but no big deal. Take this, make sure it gets down, and tighten it up, and then you pump, and you pump until you start encountering significant resistance. You may have to add more air later, which is quite common, so once you feel real resistance, then just push it down and lock it in place by clockwise turns. So now, I'll start at the top, and I'll spray. Let me make sure this is working. Yep, it is working. Spray this whole top part first. Now you can adjust this thing. So I want to get a little bit of widespread on it. Get up into that foam padding. That tends to accumulate a lot of junk. And then I start the engine cleaning. Thoroughly drench it. Anything that you know accumulates a lot of dirt, like these little white plastic bottles, should get in there. So we're going to wind up doing this twice, hopefully, with the amount that I put in here. Let me hold this up. Let's get up in there. Let's get down inside. Make sure you don't have your oil stick out when you do this. Make sure all the sticks are in the way you would normally drive it, which basically makes it all water tight. Get it up in there. Okay, now I'll stop that for now. Looks like I used about half of it. And I will take the brushes, put them a little bit. And I'll start getting in here. Let me get the large parts first. Saving the top to the end here on this first pass. Don't take the air filter out or anything and leave that compartment open. That would be a problem. Same thing with the oil intake. Make as you would normally drive it. Make sure that everything is the same. Get it in here. Get up in here and get some of that. Now we're going to go for the little one. Get in here and get down into the tight areas. You have. Get as many crevices as you can. Down in here looks like some grease has fallen down on that little aluminum pan there. Get that out of there. Battery connectors. Not going to hurt it. Again, leave the cover on things like this as you would drive it. I don't have to do so much up here. Just going to give it a quick one over. So make sure any big parts are broken out. Don't worry, that will rinse off. A lot of grease on that. I have to put more after I wash it. I grease up all of the points of contact between the body moving parts and the rest of the car. Go ahead and get that all in there. Now don't wait around and let it dry too long, or it will become really hard to rinse it out. So once we've got this done, we get the hose immediately ready and we start to rinse. Rinse it out thoroughly. Okay, that's good. Rinse this brush out. We'll go for pass 2. This brush to the side. Put some more air pressure in here. And get it all in there again. Very noticeable on the plastic bottles once the job is done, and the battery connectors. Very clean. Get it all in there. I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. Then I'm going to put more fresh water in here and get every drop of the cleaner in use. Okay, let's open this guy up again. And now I'm not going to measure, just throw some water inside of here. And get about 2/3 full so I can get most of it out. Then, you got to leave some room in here for the air pressure. You can't fill it all the way up. If anybody has ever used one of these before for bug killers or other purposes in their yard, pump it up. I'm going to also shake it a little bit. Make sure we get it all in there. So we get enough for now. And let me get the rest of it out. The suds do a good job helping along this final pass here. Get it all in there. Most of the crud is gone now, so it's not as big a deal to cover. Get every little one of these crevices in here, because it all adds up. Nice sunny day. Help me dry this once I've gone through this part of it. Okay, that should be good enough for now. Put this aside now, I really don't need that. Let's go ahead and give it one more little scrub in the visible areas. Intake is completely isolated. One of my older cars, that's not the case, so I had to avoid the intake air filter a little bit. Not this one, so it's good. I think we're pretty good. The big one, let me get the little brush again, and let's get into the little areas. Try to look for the areas that have the suds on them, and try to get to those, because the suds spread, you get into the crevices. And if you focus on the suds, you'll find that you will have gotten into most of the detailed hidden areas. Some are still hard to get, even with this brush, but it's best effort. Starting to look clean already. Let's rinse this guy. Give it a thorough rinsing on this final rinse. Let's give it a thorough rinsing, get out much of the suds and residual grime that is left. Not too much pressure, you don't knock a hose off. I like to also do the front, so I lift this up now and I try to get up underneath there With the bottom part and into the radiator as I can. Get up in here into the radiator and get all of that stuff out of there. And I'll go up underneath the bottom too. Okay. Bottom was where the suds would have settled. The top is dripping out to the bottom. That's why you gotta be careful when you get all that stuff out of there. Time for the dry. I think I'll leave it on low. But I want to get all of this stuff dried as much as possible. The leaf blower does a fantastic job with that. First get up into the pad here and kind of force some of that out with the air. Starting from the top before you're going to do this for both washing and drying. Again, I don't want to use high near one of the hoses. It probably will knock it off. That should be good. I'm not even going to stop the camera, and I'm going to go in and start the car just to show you that I didn't break it, hopefully. Okay. There you go. Let me turn the air conditioning off. I had that on before. And voila! We have a clean and still running engine. I hope some of you got something out of this, and I'll see you in the next video.